As we go closer to closing out 2021, you might have been seeing some notices about changes coming to some of your benefits in 2022, and who better to kind of help us through this is our Live Well partner, Jill Pulliam. Jill, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Pulliam, very good.
There you go, of benefit results. Let's talk, because literally the notices have been coming in. A lot of people are thinking, oh my goodness, what's happening, what's going on, I don't understand this. But there's some good thing about those notices, and there's some bad things about those notices.
That's right. The good news is that people should start seeing an increase in their Social Security checks, railroad retirement checks, and veteran checks, because the cost of living adjustment, they call it the COLA, the cost of living adjustment for 2022 went up 5.9% this year, which is the highest rate since 1982.
Wow.
So people would be getting a nice little bump in those checks, but of course other things then also come around and are a little bit higher, like your Medicare premium is going to increase, things like that. Yeah. But some folks are seeing the increase in their check in December, and some will see it in January. But about 64 million Americans will be seeing that increase.
Yeah, and I'm going to say, Jill, this is the perfect time to get a hold of you and your team, because some of these people who are retired, I didn't know this until I was talking to a friend's father who actually has to move his investments over so he's not taxed, that he kind of like forgot about, because after a couple of years that starts to happen, that people think, well, what am I getting taxed for? I'm not touching it or anything like that. But you have to move it a little bit. If you don't know those benefits or those results or what's going on, you're going to be a little in trouble when it comes to tax time.
That's true. I will preface that we are not tax folks.
Right.
So go to your CPA to ask the tax people those questions. But Benefit Results spends a lot of our time and energy helping families who are struggling with the healthcare piece on top of tax piece. So planning for benefits, understanding how to be eligible for benefits. You can also have tax consequences for that. So when we are doing our assessment, oftentimes if there's a tax implication, we identify the issue, but then really encourage those folks to see their CPAs.
Exactly, and that's what I say about that, because you sit down with them, you talk with them, and you're there to guide them. And also, it's a great time now for those who have mom and dad who are getting older. We see people are moving back to where, of course, they were before the pandemic, and maybe leaving mom and dad. And so you want to make sure everything's in order. And we've had this talk before, where sometimes mom and dad don't want to tell you everything that's going on.
Very true, very true. Benefit Results has a team of benefit coaches that are very compassionate and able to talk with families about the issues that are present, and sometimes they're hard things to talk about. And strangely, sometimes it's easier to talk to someone like us rather than their kid, because they're still their child and they don't want to tell them certain things. But especially when you're dealing with an aging or an ill spouse, there are many, many rules that allow the well spouse to be able to be protected and get the ill spouse the benefits that they need. And without having that conversation, you can also often get misinformation or be ineligible because of not planning correctly.
Yeah, and I'll go back to the first time we had you on, and you told us a story about the gentleman who was paying all this money out because someone got his card. He didn't know what was going on. He was paying for gyms. He was paying for protein drinks, all this stuff and everything. And that kind of like could be happening right now because of the pandemic, where you know, people were not leaving the house and they were doing stuff online.
Right.
So coming to you right now, especially going into 2022, you're going to be able to sit down with them and see, like, whoa, hold on, you know, regarding healthcare, no, that's not what is over here. You should have this over here.
You know, a great example of that also is what people are paying for their insurance premiums. Oftentimes that just comes out of your check. So the person gets a check thinking that that's what their gross amount is, when really it's their net because of the deductions. When you're looking at paying for care, you want to look at how much income you have in order that can pay towards that care. But if you have all these deductions that are coming out that maybe are unnecessary, you actually can afford more care than what you think you can. So our team evaluates your income, your burn rate of savings, how long is that going to last before you need additional benefits, and then come up with a strategy to find those benefits when the time is right to do that.
Yeah, well, there you go. So 2022, as you said, you're going to be seeing some increase and some great, of course, benefits, but also some changes too. So it's best to get a hold of you. And how do they do that?
Well, we are busy helping families. We would love for more families to come in and get this information. They can call our office or reach us on benefitresults.com.
Okay.
There's a contact spot. Put in your information. We'll be happy to email you if that's easier for you, text or call. We're happy to be a resource for you.
Thank you, Jill, and we're proud to have you as part of our Live Well program. And again, you can go to our Live Well page to find out more about benefit results. So, all right, come on back. We got more to learn here on the Arizona Daily News.